Hello, welcome to Remnant 2. A new patch released today with a major changes with performance issues, some nerfs, some buffs, a lot of changes. So let's have a look into it because we have some things to cover. I won't cover everything. For the bug fixes of general things, I will leave either for you to take a screenshot or pause the video and the link in the description if you want to see them yourselves. Let's start with performance and crashes because all these changes are welcome. I personally have problems when the game started and my game crashed. My game crashed again. I crashed like 50 times at least since the beginning. And I also had early access. And I wasn't the only one. I saw the forums. We did everything we can with updating the drivers. I had a pretty decent rig. I was running in lower settings and still had issues. But hopefully this will fix the issues. I can finally play 2K. I was playing 1K to avoid the crashes as much as I can, and finally I can play and enjoy the game without crashes. And they made some quality of life changes. I think overall these are good, and let's see what they have to say about them. While we still have quite a few things we're looking on regarding trades and long-term grinding for those that wish to partake, we wanted to make a few changes in this patch to ensure players had more freedom to experiment. That's good. Players should find it much easier to respect, and they should also end up with more scrap overall. Yeah, scrap farming was a pain, and scrap spending was very demanding. We aren't done here by any means, and there are not the large changes we mentioned on Discord and Reddit, which I haven't seen yet, and I don't know the major changes they're going to do. I hope they're good changes, and I have faith in the team. Let's not jinx it. But in the short term, they should help to ease the burden of reconfiguring your build and experimenting with different options. Let's see what the changes made and how good they are. So, they increased the trade cap by +5. This may seem like a joke. Yeah, we can laugh, it's only +5 because, yeah, in my opinion, 60 trade cap is a little low considering how many trades you can unlock, how many possibilities, and how many mandatory traits you need, especially if you want to go for Apocalypse. For Apocalypse, you definitely need a lot of Vigor, max Vigor, you need Barkskin, you need some stamina, you need cooldown reduction, you need mod generation, and with only few of them, like 4 mandatory, you have 40 traits cap and you have only 20 to spend. So +5 is better than nothing. I would have hoped for a little more, at least 20, to have a little more flexibility with builds, or at least to give us access to the traits we unlock from the archetypes. So you can, let's say, pick 2 full traits from the archetypes you already unlocked. So basically you have +20 traits from the archetype, plus the other 20 you have from the equipped archetypes. But let's see how they're going to change this. So basically overall, welcome change, 5 is better than nothing. Tome of Knowledge now grants scrap and experience when the player has reached trade cap. Yeah, now you have a reason to pick up the Tome of Knowledge when you reach trade cap, and I hope the scrap is decent. The experience I don't care so much, but scrap, I want the scrap. Orb of Undoing now has unlimited uses. Excellent, fantastic, thank you very much. Players can sell any extra for scrap. Yeah, thankful now you can change the trades. Now we don't have so many trades, but you can respec without just paying scrap. And Luminate crystals, and especially Luminate crystals, are a very finite resource compared to scrap, and it's a welcome change. Thank you. Now we can experiment more. Remove the trade requirement for equipping a second archetype. Players may now slot their second archetype as soon as they obtain / convert another engram and dwelling. Personally, I like it. It's a power increase. Now you can basically, especially if you have, let's say, the survivor pack, you can go farm a little bit, go to Wally and say, hello, give me the second archetype, and I start immediately after, let's say, before the first dungeon, and I play. This can make things easier, especially for hardcore, because now you can play with double archetypes almost immediately and make things a little bit easier, which I haven't played. I plan to play hardcore to get some unlockables, but let's move on. Remove the scrap cost for converting the mysterious item into engram from 1000 to 0. So, yes, thank you. We need the scrap. We don't have enough scrap, and this will make things easier. And also they lowered the Luminite cost for converting a mysterious atom to engram from 10 to 5. Also a welcome change. Once again, Luminite crystals is a finite resource and it's a welcome change. The slight increase the scrap gain from breakables. I personally, probably an unpopular opinion, I don't like this. I didn't like that the first Remnant I had to run around, break items to get scrap. I would prefer they did increase the scrap gain from regular and rare chests. I would prefer that the scrap you were gained from the breakables, we were instead gained from the chest. Because this way, instead of running around, waste half an hour or 1 hour to break things to get scrap, you can just go to the chest, open it, get the scrap, and continue with your life. I play with a friend that he's obsessed with breaking scrap, and we waste at least from 30 minutes to an hour because he ran around breaking things to in the end get like 100 or 200 scrap. I do hope for the increased scrap from regular and rare chests to be substantial, because yeah, we need scrap. They increase the scrap gain while killing aberrations. How much? I hope it's a lot. Reduce the cost for Bloodroot. This is the healing potion you get from the medic, the first medic lady there. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. How much they reduce it, because it's a good change. Basically, when you start the game, you only have 3 Dragon Hearts, so basically 3 like Estus Flask you have in Dark Souls. And the sections are long. And if you don't have enough healing, you can die easily, especially if you're not an experienced player. It's easy to just get shot a lot and you need healing. So Bloodroot reduced cost is a welcome change. I do hope they also give the starting player like 5 Bloodroots for free, because that can make things a little easier until you unlock extra Dragon Heart. Moving on to the balance changes, because yeah, that's probably you're here. Let's see Archetype. Increase the duration of the Explorer Scavenger buff per pickup from 15 to 20 seconds. Increase the duration of Explorer Gold Digger buff from 15 to 20 seconds. And increase the healing amount of Gold Digger Healing Fountain from 1.5 to 2 hit points per second. Note: we wanted to make sure Explorer could maintain Scavenger longer between fights and give them more freedom while Gold Digger Fountains were active. We increased the duration by 5 seconds each and boosted the Healing Fountain to be more enticing. I've playing because I unlocked Explorer a little bit, and honestly, for the Scavenger buff, I would hope if they did it a little bit better, because it has a duration. I would hope if the changes like when you pick up something, scrap or something, you get the Scavenger buff, and the Scavenger buff lasts until you rest. So it's like almost forever, or until you die, or the whole team dies. Now if they want the high risk, high reward and has a duration, I would hope if it was a little more rewarding. Give more buffs or give more movement speed or use speed or something good. 5 seconds extra, 5 seconds extra, it's okay. Gold Digger buff also is okay, and extra healing is okay, I guess. So very minor buffs in the end, but I had to say something about the Scavenger buff. Now the Archon Archetype, which I haven't unlocked yet, surprise surprise, it's one of the rarest, if not the it's the rarest archetype to unlock. Very hard to do, very elaborate things, and it apparently was broken. Let's see why. They increased the damage from Lightning Hands from 28 to 65 to 56. I'm sorry. Increased the Archon Haven from Blink damage from 100 to 150, and they reduced the cooldown from Archon form by 30 seconds, from 120 seconds to 90 seconds. So why it was back? Because I saw some videos say millions of damage with Archon. Because these changes are a response to the bug fix that allowed Havoc form Lightning Hands to deal ridiculous damage. We made overall adjustment to compensate. I haven't played it, I haven't tested it, but from what I've seen, the numbers were not right, dealing thousands or hundreds of thousands of damage. So hopefully you still do a lot of damage, but not just break the game and one-shot everything. Challenger Archetype. Adjusted the damage fall-off of Challenger, close quarter perk. At maximum range, Challenger will always maintain a 10% damage bonus, all damage. Okay, that's okay. Although Challenger signs in close quarter combat, and I think I would prefer Challenger to have even more damage in close quarter, because melee should be rewarded even more. Why? There are a few bosses that are like very far away, and with the challenger you lose the buff and you have like only 10% increased damage to the maximum distance. So you lose a lot of damage for many bosses that just keep running away. You have to catch up. You lose a lot of damage. You have to run. So I do like the idea of when you are closer, you just melt them, and when they run away, you just catch them up and just damaging. That's my opinion. Handler archetype, my favorite starting archetype, and my biggest disappointment for higher difficulties because the good boy was dying very easily. However, they increase the pack hunter range from 25 to 40 meters. Excellent change now. If you send a good boy very far away, you still get the hunter pack hunter power, and also they increase the base max health from the very good boy. How much? I don't say. I have to test it. Hopefully it's a lot. At least I believe from 50 to 100% would be good, or a flat increase, because the good boy was dying very much. I tried some Nightmare and Apocalypse, and the very good boy was dying very easy and very fast. You have to keep pressing it, and it's a hassle to keep pressing your companion. And even the good boy, you had to just or dance around and say go there, go there. But the summoner archetype changes are much welcome compared to handler because they increase the base max health from the summoner's hollow and flare variants. Unlike the handler, that you can call the good boy back, send it there, pick it there, you cannot control your summons. Your summon will just run around and attack the closest enemy and keep attacking. That's why the health increase is very welcome, because they were dying very easily, especially if you're using summoner as your first archetype. You have to shoot your summons to do extra damage, so they were dying even faster. So this is a welcome change. And how much they increase the base max health. 50%, 100%, I have to make sure and test. So let's see for the weapons. I'm going to be honest, I haven't tried the Aphelion scale with both special damage instead of standard. As far as I understand, standard weapons scale up to 20 and boss weapons scale up to 10, and you need illuminate crystals and more resources overall. So that's probably the scaling they have. I have to see it. If you know anything else, leave a comment below. Thank you in advance. Increase the base fire damage of Shatterstar, the savior mode. Oh, how much? I like they say increase the fire damage. Yeah, how much? Please give us a number. Just say we increase it by 100. We increase it by 50%. We increase it by 1000%. Anyway, reduce the fire rate of Nightfall in Standard and Dreadwalker fire modes. How much? Once again, they reduced it. Because yeah, there is a dev note. Nightfall was dealing far more damage than other weapons in both modes, always almost 20% more with Dreamwalker active compared to other guns with their mode active. When considering damage and the mode ability, harder to hit, life siphon, and fire rate, it was pushing Nightfall too far above every other long gun. It now sits closer in line with other high damage weapons. Now, I agree and disagree with that. Nightfall in general was a very good general weapon and let's say generic weapon. So basically you can pick it up with any class, any spec, and it was a good weapon because semi-automatic, decent range, and the mod was just fantastic. And the mod damage was, it is still cheating. You have fully automatic, unlimited ammo, and life siphon, harder to hit. What else do you want? It nukes bosses, it's awesome. So there are, however, some weapons, single shot weapons, other fully automatic weapons that with combination of Hunter and Gunslinger deal a ridiculous amount of damage compared to Nightfall. So I don't know. Yeah, in general, a lot of people were using it because it was easy to use and stuff, but we have to see what the future holds and how much this now compares to the other long guns. Now, reduce the AoE burst damage of Enigma overload application from 40 to 30. Also, Enigma got hit hard. Surprise, surprise, probably the best secondary weapon got hit hard. Let's see what else they butchered from our beautiful boy. Reduce the subsequent damage of Enigma primary fire from 75% to 65%. The 10% decreases, okay. Reduce magazine capacity of Enigma from 30 to 25. Increase total reserve capacity from 1 to... Yeah, that's a little the joke from this. It's a little short. Let's see the developer note. Enigma was performing too far above our goal for AoE clear, so a few adjustments were made. There is still an issue with it ignoring armor, which will be addressed in the future. However, when that happens, we will reevaluate numbers. So it ignores armor on purpose, so it's a bug. I don't know, I haven't followed it, but anyway, Enigma was arguably the best, or is the best weapon for horde clear. It's good, it's fair, it staggers, you don't have to aim, it jumps from enemy to enemy, it does the overload application. Awesome, 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 awesome. Now, are the changes enough to make it unusable? I don't think so. I don't think these numbers will be enough, and I think probably this is still the best horde clear. I have to test it, but this is probably the best horde clear weapon still, and that's my issue. None of the other weapons, secondary weapons that I have found so far, can compare to the Enigma. Why should I use anything else? I will use anything else in case I want to use another weapon mode, and that's it. I would recommend if they make them a little more unique. For example, in Remnant 1, we had some good secondary, very good weapons. I don't remember now the name. The one that was shooting radiation and had an excellent mode, and you could use that. The other from the Queen that applied corrosive and debuffing the enemies, lower the armor. So you had other options. Even for example, there if you had Enigma, other builds will use other weapons because they were doing something Enigma couldn't. Enigma is a good horde clear weapon. I do hope they release and adjust secondary weapons that do other things better than Enigma. So some builds say, okay, you know what? I don't need horde clear with my class. I can pick up another weapon that does something better from Enigma. Now, enemies. Reduce damage of Nightweaver's grab attacks, wall and launch. Yeah, how much reduce the damage? Because from the walls, I think from the wall was an instant kill, isn't it? From the Nightweaver grab. Anyway, adjusting the hitbox of Magister Dulan Kong attacks to better match the visuals. I have to test it because I don't think I had an issue with that. Multiplayer. Reduced incoming damage in multiplayer from 25% per additional player to 15% per player. Excellent, excellent, excellent change. They fixed a lot of things. They addressed issues from achievements, multiplayer, stuff like that. I will leave here so you can pause the video to see everything for yourself, and the dev notes for these changes, for everything, because I don't want to just drag the video longer. And also the changes for the... Oh, I will read this because it's about the archetypes and gear fixes now. Fixed an issue with Archon Havoc form, Lightning Hands. Cast and Speak now properly ramps up the Lightning Hands without going infinite. Yeah, that was an issue which I didn't know because I don't have the archetype. Fixed an issue causing Hunter focus not granting the proper weak spot damage bonus. That's giving more or less? Please let us know. So do we need less damage or more? Any main hunter in the comments below, please let me know because I need to test this and I don't remember the numbers. I also fixed the casting hunter Shroud granting multiplicative damage bonus. Why not? Isn't the... Oh, the Shroud, it was multiplicative damage bonus. So that was a lot or not? Not an additive bonus. Okay, I have to see if it was a multiplicative and that was an error. Now that's a huge nerf. So Shroud will deal much less damage, especially if your main is a hunter and you were using Shroud, you will probably see a huge drop in damage if that's the case. Fix an issue, finally we can play Invader. Fix an issue, Invader perk Shark, not apply its damage bonuses. Yeah, yes. We can play Invader. I have recently unlocked Invader. I don't have the archetype max level yet. I'm like, I think level 7 or 8. And I do want to do it max level because I love the Invader. Very good theme, very good. And with the perk working, we can finally work it in Apocalypse. Fixed an issue with Gunslinger Bulletstorm the sound terminating. That never happened to me, however, thankfully they fixed it because that can sound annoying. Fixed a bug allowing male engineer to ignore falling transition when overclocking. I didn't know this was even possible. Anyway, okay, for the enemies, not the enemies, we're on the gear. I'm sorry, I skipped this. Now let's see. Fixed VFX alignment of Nebula and Hellfire Primary Fire. I don't have this yet. I wanted the Hellfire, seems very interesting. Fixed an issue preventing Plasma Cutter from dealing the correct damage type to certain enemies. Thank you for that, although I don't have the weapon yet. Fixed an issue causing Steel Breaker Mutator to not grant the correct amount of shield. Whew, I wish they elaborated. So, what? Did they give less amount of shield? Or did they give more amount of shield? Please let us know. I assume they didn't give enough shield and this is now giving more. Nightfall mode visual effect terminate correctly now, which I don't know if that was an issue. Fixed an issue allowing Dreamcatcher to trigger Dreamweave before it was properly earned. Okay. Fixed an issue that allowed Crystal Heart from stacking with itself. What the hell? Fixed an issue causing Ring of Flawless Beauty not granting the proper weak swap damage bonus. Hopefully this now grants more damage. Fixed an issue with Anesthesia Inspiration causing infinite damage stacking on Summoner's minions. What the hell? Oh yeah, I saw a video about that, and minions doing like millions of damage because it was infinitely stacking and just minions one-shot everything. I don't care. I want to play minion build anyway despite that, because I didn't play Summoner minion because it was broken. I played it because I like it. I don't care about the infinite damage. I care about doing damage with the minions and the summons and everything. So they fixed an issue preventing some bossing and special melee weapons from receiving proper scaling. Hopefully once again now we see damage increase, not damage decrease. Fixed an issue preventing God Splitter from triggering what is supposed to happen achievement. Okay, I didn't know that was an issue. Fixed an issue with Primogenitor health bar incorrectly tracking and causing players to become stuck. Okay, that sucks. Thank you for fixing that. Fixed an issue with Root Knight's paddle projectile dealing damage on hit. What the hell? Fixed an issue with Nightweaver's projectiles homing in a player incorrectly. So now they don't home incorrectly. So we can node them easier. Let's see. Alpha Aberration in Tower of Unseen now respawns after player dies and re-enters the Aberration room area. Ooh. Now respawns if the player dies. Oh my god, it didn't respawn. Ooh, the poor players that died there and lost the gear and the loot. That sucks. Thank you for fixing that. Fix an issue with Block Ruin Labyrinth enemies sound effect. I don't know about that. Fixed issue where players could defeat the Gwendil, the Unbrand, without taking any damage by standing on the stairs. And what the hell? You could stand on the stair on the wooden bridge and take no damage. Oh, I think that was an issue, but okay, that was funny. Fixed issue where killing the Many Faces Corruptor boss Ward Golem, jumping between platforms would cause it to fall off the ward in the... Oh, okay, I didn't know that was happening. That I have to search for a video for this. This would be hilarious. How to fix that? So miscellaneous fixes fixed multiple location final level where players could get out of bounds. Okay, I will leave this here so you can just read them yourselves. Oh, there are not so many. Let's read them. Not so many. Fixed collision issue causing players to get trapped along some edges in Moro Sanitarium. Fixed issue when players certain melee weapons the character face distorted. Fixed issue where players could be locked out of Postulant Parlor where applying was closer after playing the board game. I don't know about that. A player was unable to open door of Sentinel, keep them exiting game while inputting the Seeker key, last acquire first in a root. Player were trapped when attempting to fall through a wall in Cotton Screen. My god, how many issues I avoided. I'm so lucky. Allowed players to skip siege fight. Okay, I didn't know you could do that. Players falling into gap between boat and wall in tiles. Oh my god, that sucked. Fixed floating doors in Cathedral of Omens. Great Hall that allowed repeated XP rewards during Feastmaster event. Ooh, the Great Hall. Allowed repeated XP reward during Feast. Oh yeah, I saw that was like some videos I saw. Get infinite XP, but you have to play with players and you just have to abuse this Feastmaster event and get like 4000 XP per Feastmaster that. Oh, they fixed that. I'm sorry if you were doing this. There are probably other ways to farm XP. Fix multiple scenarios that allow players to transition through walls using interactives. Oh, now that's why I'm glad I released the video about the Luminite, corrupted Luminite crystal farm. They no longer, this won't probably work, the corrupted Luminite, when you had to do the high five. You can still do my the legit run, and probably the respawn run. I have to see if that works. Fixed an issue that caused players to get stuck in throne animation. This didn't happen to me, but that sucks. Thank you for the fixing that. Adjusted the kill volume height of Custodian Eye Arena. Okay, a lot of things. Let's see what players have to say a little bit. Yeah, okay, the first players obviously troll. This game is trash. Stop sending updates because we don't care. Thank you for your input and very valid point for your point of view. But for my point of view, I agree into some degree because yes, my game sucked, the game experience when my game kept crashing. But now that they fixed it, or when I lowered the settings and I managed to play a little bit, Remnant 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm not exaggerated. I love Remnant 1. Remnant 2 not only delivered on the promise, they just upgraded the game into every possible way and made it better. A lot of items, a lot of things. The archetypes are great, the weapons are great, and I haven't unlocked all the weapons yet, and I'm still unlocking things. The game is basically huge. I have like 90 hours in the game and I still haven't unlocked everything because I like it and I like to keep playing it. So yeah, for me it's a 10 out of 10 game, personal opinion. It's not a 10 out of 10 game if you see it like this objectively, but because I'm subjective and I like it, for me it's a 10 out of 10 game. So for now the community is positive about the changes. If you still have a performance issues bits, I hope they will fix this, or if you simply do the things again, verify your files, restart, clean install and stuff like that, they will fix it. However, I have to say something about this. I enjoy the game, it's one of my favorites of year to date. I don't understand the rationale between the majority of the quality of life changes. I hope some of these changes are reversed. Many of them aren't actually quality of life changes, they're basically cheat codes, circumventing design choices mechanics. The changes don't all improve the gameplay, some of them detract from it. This is disinherited and I hope it's not sign of things to come. So I agree and disagree in the same time, because let me just explain why. I agree with their point of view, because if you have played the first game, you needed a lot of grind for this, grind for that, for the respect, but you, compared to the first game, we didn't have to respect because there was no trade cap. You had to respect only once, after or twice, if you want to make some changes, but apart from that, you just had to keep upgrading your trades. So that's another change. And requiring less scrap, in my opinion, it's a huge improvement of the game. Let me clarify why. This game should be addressed for the majority of players, and the majority of players are more casual players that want to log in the game a couple of hours per day, complete a ward or two, try the boss a couple of times, kill it or not kill it, and rinse and repeat. If a casual player has to grind if he wants to respect, or when he finds a new archetype, to just run a new adventure, or to unlock the archetype, or just has to farm to unlock the archetype, or other quality of life services, the average player won't like that, and I agree with the quality of life services to make things easier for that, because these are the majority of players, and the majority of players will keep the game live for longer. The more players we have, the better the game will do, the better the DLCs, the better the upgrades, the better of the support we have. So I do agree that yes, if you see it in a point of view like of a more hardcore player, that's not good for you. However, if I see it in the point of view of a more casual player, I would agree with the changes, and I hope they did even more, because you still have to upgrade weapons. If you need 2 or 3 builds, you need to upgrade, let's say, at least 4 to 6 weapons if you count the melee weapons. And the upgrades are expensive. Also, you have to buy extra things. You have to buy blood roots, you have to buy ammo boxes, you may have to buy the immunities. You should buy from a tooth flasks from either extra points, extra stamina, or extra damage. So this will improve your things, and you also can buy things from Reggie, things from the other girl, I don't remember her name, and things from a tooth, from items. So everything costs something. So the quality of life services for things you do in your everyday, I do agree. And the rings are not free, the unlockables. You still have to grind, even the casual player, to get the ring. And I do agree they shouldn't change that. they shouldn't give, for example, the rings you unlock for free, because it's something you look forward to. You unlock the ring, it's there, and you have to pay 1000 scrap, which is just a very an okay amount. Another thing I have to address, the other player just mentioned below. Second game in the series, no way to save loadouts. Yes, very good point, excellent point. I do agree with this. We need loadouts. I have a couple of builds I want to switch between them. I have and can mark weapons and rings and amulets as favorites, but that's still a process. I have to click at least 5-10 times, or not 5, 20 times to make my loadout as it was. And I have to also remember the loadout. Sometimes I have to take screenshots to remember the loadouts, or I just have them from memory. So yeah, loadouts we need them. Please, just add 4 or 5 loadouts. I don't know how hard it is, but we need them desperately. So I have to address something else about the comments. Oh my god, you guys really nerf guns in the game that is not PvP and it's mostly single player. I was using both Nightfall and Enigma. Me too, friend. Most of my classes were using these weapons. Even though you fooled me into buying Ultimate Edition, I will not be touching garbage DLCs, nor will I buy another game made for you. So I understand the frustration of this player. I kind of agree that they're just nerfing the weapons. However, they have to do some balances. I understand that as well. And why you should do balances in weapons. When a weapon outperforms everything in base value and everything is using it, that could be an issue for the game. And I don't know about Enigma and Nightfall. I think that's a major problem with other games. I don't think there was enough testing. These weapons are too good compared to other weapons. In general, when I say in general, if you take 2 builds with same, let's say, or similar perks, you do need to run Nightfall and Enigma. It's a best combo. Enigma is horde clear and stans. Nightfall has very good sustained damage, the best mod. It heals you, it does burst damage, infinite ammo. It's very powerful. Now, I don't know how the nerfs will affect the damage output, how it will destroy your build. So yeah, I can understand your point of view. However, I also understand the balancing issues. And I would prefer if they just balance things a little bit. So not the damage buffs. It's not like, I don't agree in most things. It's okay, you know what, instead of nerfing, buff everything else. No, that can cause a lot of problems. I do believe, as I mentioned, make weapons better in different situations, as you did in Remnant 1. Once again, the beam rifle in Remnant 1 was good because it didn't do a lot of damage, but has nice critical chance, nice fire rate, so it was good for critical builds. Other was better for mod generation, so another weapon didn't do a lot of damage, but generated more mod by the base damage. So others had specific good mods that applied corrosive. Others were good for AoE. Others were good, like the ricochet weapon was my favorite. You could just kill enemies from the corner. Overall, it didn't do a lot of single target damage, but was very good weapon. So I would prefer if they increase the variety of the weapons and what they do. So it's not raw power. So for example, if someone is running Nightfall and Enigma, and say, oh, I do raw damage, you see another build and another weapons that they don't do in the same damage from Nightfall and Enigma. However, they do other things that Enigma and Nightfall cannot do, and you will be using the other weapons. You will see more build and more diversity. It's a little hard to build it like that, but I do hope and they will make the right choices to just balance the game a little bit better without nerfing everything. So I was scrolling and find this this player, and I have to say that let's read it. To whatever official person reading through this, stay strong. So some really toxic stuff here that does not even contain a hint of criticism. Seriously, people, please write what made you this aggressive if you feel like to have right insults here. I agree with this because why people criticism, let's talk this without moving on. People don't like their games or the weapons to be nerfed or the games to be bad because they want their investments to count. So if I buy a game, if I buy the Ultimate Edition, I want my game to be the best. I want to have everything I want, and I don't want my game to be nerfed however I play in it. I don't like changes. And if you make changes to people that they were strong, you make them weaker, they may react before just testing what other alternatives are or how much the damage nerf was. It was significant, it wasn't significant. So people sometimes overreact, and because this is the internet, welcome to the internet, people overreact and lash out to others that they don't deserve it. So yeah, if you are hearing this video, if you're this far, thank you for being this far, firstly, and for listening to my rant. Secondly, please be a little more constructive, as this person says. Being constructive is way more same, because as I said before, for the weapons, nerf them but give us something else entirely. Even saying giving numbers is better than saying okay, I'm quitting the game, goodbye, stuff like that, which I understand your frustration. Just give a little more constructive criticism, like it will go a long way. It will make the internet a little better place. I'm a little optimistic, sorry. If you're here to beep on the game or the developers without even writing at least a bit of useful information, then you're spending your time wrong, which I agree. Your comment do not achieve even the least bit of change that way, also I agree. If you don't want to change anything, then you are wasting your time and energy here, because you will just look pathetic. If you have something you want to see changed, put back forward, that way you have a change of being seen and to ever see your wish become part of the game. So you also agree and disagree. Why I disagree? Because if you have enough people complaining, let's say now we have a few people and say, okay, the game is trash, you nerf my weapon, I don't care, I will quit, the game is not working, so yeah. However, if this was happening with like the 90% of players and say your game is trash, and I know a game I was playing, I don't want to say the name, but yeah, okay, I will say Diablo. Diablo was very disappointing for me the first season, I don't play it. And I won't say, for example, like this person mentions, Diablo is a bad game, for example. The season 1 was a bad decision. They released another patch to fix things, and if they improve season 2, I will return to the game, of course, because it's not a bad game. They just released bad patch, and they broke the game. So yes, if a lot of people just gather around and say, you know what, your game is trash, we won't play it, and the C numbers dropped, yeah, then you can achieve something. But you need unity for that, not just 5 people saying, oh, your game is bad, and just being toxic. But if we unite, for example, let's say today we unite for Diablo, let's say, and no one's playing season 1, I guarantee that Blizzard Activision will release a patch in a couple of days and say, you know what, we're sorry, we'll make the changes, and I put everything together, take extra space for your inventory, extra stash and extra stuff. Anyway, my rant for that, this is not the game in the place. Let's continue. I have some wishes too. Please add savable loadouts. Yeah, I agree. Infinite trade points. I know this is a system undergoing changes soon away, but it feels weird to not be able to skill everything like in the first game. I don't know what's the reasoning, and the developers stand behind the no infinite trade points. And I don't know why. Infinite trade points, because all the trade points you see are not damage increase. Some are damage increase because the skill cooldown can be considered damage increase, or mod generation can be considered damage increase because you have mods faster and skills faster. However, you need also survivability and utility. Some are like more gimmick or just good. So infinite trade points, yeah, that will make your characters very powerful, because imagine having all the trade points and all the trade points from the archetypes. So that could make very broken characters. Even then try whatever and your character will be very powerful. But I don't know how I feel about infinite trade points. I want more trade points, that's what I want, but how many more are good to run good builds? Are they infinite good or not? Honestly, I'm okay with infinite, but I don't know how I feel with infinite trade points and all the archetypes unlocked. Let's see. Crossplay would be lovely. We don't have crossplay. I'm sorry, I thought we had crossplay. I'm not sure. If we don't, yeah, we need crossplay. Please have crossplay. A few less crashes would still be... Yeah, thank you for that. +1, can I give you something? Can I give you a reward or something? Something, I want to give you a reward. Let me give a reward to this. FQLS crashes would be much appreciated. Yeah, thank you. There are these three are my main wishes currently, and they certainly might take some time to be realized. But I feel like this would drastically improve the replayability and longevity of the game. Yes, correctly, yeah, because infinite train points, yeah, would improve the longevity because players will want to unlock everything. If you have a lot of trade points and say, you know what, you need to unlock 1000 trade points, people will play more to unlock everything because there are a lot of completion. Not everyone, not all the casuals, but I believe like 20% or 50% of the casuals will still want to unlock all the trades just because they can. And if they like the game, it will add the replayability. Play again, unlock the trades, play with friends, play crossplay, play with randoms, have fun. Yeah, that can improve. Thank you for delivering us this game. I appreciate the fact that you bought such feature complete and flesh out experience for us. Yeah, that's why I gave the reward to this guy. I agree with most of the things. And we need more players like this and more mindset. Not everything is set to stone. Not everything can be fixed in next day unless you're a very big corporation like Blizzard, Activision, but I don't want to waste my time here in this video for talking about these guys. And one final comment I want to say about this comment. Yeah, game works perfect, and I do think this update is a big step forward for taking the game from 9 out of 10 to 10 out of 10. Thank you. I also agree. For me, it's a 10 out of 10. As long as the game works. If the game is not working, it loses like 6 points. For me, even if it's the best game in the world, let's say my favorite is last decades like Elden Ring. If I was playing Elden Ring and was keep crashing, I would give like 4 out of 10, yeah, because it keeps crashing. I can't play the game. Or 1 out of 10. I don't care. I can't play the game. Please fix it. I'm not a developer. I'm not a technician. I pay you to do that, so please fix it. So the only major bummer for me is the trade system. I personally think for me, the Ashes system where it allowed you to grind out all trades to maximum was better than having a trade cap. The patch was massive and came out of the blue, but it's worth it. Thank you for the effort, Gunfire. Yeah, this is basically also, once again, agree to disagree, because let me explain why the traits in the original Remnant had to be maximized, because from the original Remnant from the Ashes, you don't have classes. You don't get damage from classes and archetypes. You got damage from your gear, your armor basically, and the traits. There were traits that give you damage from rage damage, from close damage, I think, from critical chance, critical damage, stuff like that. So you needed to also maximize your and there were so many traits. Oh my god, I have probably to make another video just to laugh. How many traits? I think there were like almost 1,000 traits, 1,000 trait points you need to maximize, something like that. It was ridiculous how many you needed, but I loved it personally. Like to unlock all the traits and say, oh yes, I found the traits, I unlocked them, and now I have maximum power. So I would agree that we need more trade points. Once again, what's the reasonable to not just break the game, just upgrade everything, pick a class and destroy everything, which is good if you want to just make the game boring or to go to run to apocalypse and destroy everything. But yeah, I think infinite trade points apart from the archetype trade points would be nice, because I do believe there are so many good archetype trade points that are game breaking. For example, 50% extra more effectiveness is good, 50% extra max speed is very good, and speed, if you don't think speed is good in Remnant 2, you haven't tried it. And that was it about my rant about everything else. I really hope you enjoyed this, the changes for me. Overall, a big W, a big win for us, a lot of good changes. Although the nerfs, I agree and disagree. I don't want to stay in the middle. I don't want to be the devil's advocate, but I agree with some of the nerfs, but once again, I disagree. If we don't have some compensation and make some weapons a little more diverse or usable in specific builds, let's say a couple of builds, make them good. Make some weapons uniquely good that people will want to use them and say, I don't care if it doesn't do the most damage. I care because the mod is good, it's fun, the ricochet, it charges mode faster, it's more useful, it has better range, stuff like that. It's more useful. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you if you reached the end of the video. Feel free to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos for Remnant. I will start making some build guides. For now, thankfully, we have the patch before starting the builds to see what works and not working for Apocalypse especially. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Until next time.